Hey, I'm Abby and welcome back to the Life Work Balance YouTube channel. Over the last couple of weeks, I've released several videos on the topic of ChatGPT or artificial intelligence AI tools that you could use as a part of your job search process. So the very first video I released was more of a general overview of how you could use ChatGPT or other AI tools in your job search process. And now I've kind of released a set of videos on very specific prompts that you can use at each of the different stages. So the first video was on how you can use ChatGPT in that pre-contemplation, pre-job search, pre-application process. The second video was how you could use ChatGPT for the job search research stage. And now this third and final video is how you can use ChatGPT during your actual job search. But before we jump into how you can use ChatGPT for your actual job search, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you're looking forward to learning how you can do so. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so that you can receive life, work, balance advice delivered directly to you every Sunday. So, ChatGPT is a tool that is completely mind-blowing and can change the way that we use or engage in the job search process. While I know how this tool works, it still blows my mind with some of the outputs that it's been able to generate. And there are also outputs where I'm slightly disappointed at what it comes up with. So it's really important that we take some considerations into mind. First, when you're interacting with these tools, specifically ChatGPT, you want to treat this interaction as a conversation, like you would be having a conversation with someone else, another human. You want to be descriptive and specific with your requests or the prompts that you're putting into the system. You can't just say resume and expect it to generate a specific tailored resume for you. So you want to give specific details and prompts to the program so that it can generate something that's closer to what you're looking for. If the outputs generated by these programs still aren't exactly what you're looking for, you can ask the program to tell you more, to expand on that, to give you 5 more examples, etc. But you also want to test different ways of asking the program the same thing. You might have a very similar question that's worded slightly differently, and that slightly different question could generate a very different output from the program. So test different ways of asking similar things. Along those same lines, you want to make sure that you're using these types of programs to help you create a rough draft. These are not your final outputs that you will be sending to people or organizations as a part of the job search process. This is a rough draft that you will then have to use to edit, proofread, modify, etc. to ensure that the information is accurate and that it sounds like you, that it doesn't sound like a program wrote it for you. So proofread it, tailor it, personalize it specifically to you. Use it as a rough draft that then you put your own personal touch and spin on. One of the reasons for this is that there are tools out there that can identify when something has likely been written or generated by artificial intelligence. You don't want your resume to be flagged as an AI resume and immediately get discarded before you have humans actually interact with the document. So you want to make sure that you're spending some additional time personalizing and editing whatever is generated by this program so that it actually sounds like and looks like and feels like something that you as a human would have put together, not artificial intelligence put together. And the final consideration is have someone look at this. Have someone you know and trust give you feedback on what has been generated by these programs and your edits within those. So this might be a mentor, a coach, a family member, or a friend, or even someone like me who can give you that professional advice and opinion on how this actually looks and feels. So enough of that, let's jump into the different ways that you could potentially use ChatGPT during your job search. The first is you can use ChatGPT to help you tailor your resume. So you will want to create your master resume, which is this master document that you will work off of forever, but you don't submit your master resume to a job posting. You submit a tailored resume. If you don't know the difference between the two, I have a video on each, so please go ahead and check out those links in the description box below. But you will want to make sure that you submit a resume that is tailored specifically to the job that you're applying to. So here's a way that I prompted ChatGPT to create 5 bullet points based off of my previous experience and a specific job posting that I'm applying to that could be used on a tailored resume. Please take my previous experience and generate 5 bullet points using language from this new job posting. So the output ChatGPT generated were 5 bullet points that I could potentially use as a tailored bullet point on a resume. Now you'll want to make sure that you read through these bullet points, you tweak them to match your experience, match the metrics, match the language that you use so it feels like you wrote it. And you'll want to make sure that it actually makes sense. But ChatGPT can help you create tailored versions of your information using language from job postings. Another way that you can use ChatGPT during your job search process is when it comes to interview questions. So you can ask it to come up with 10 possible interview questions for a specific role. So I did 2 prompts that were along these same lines. So the first was, what are 10 possible behavior or situational based interview questions that could be asked in an interview for the position below? And then I copied and pasted a job posting or job description, and it generated 10 possible behavior based or situational based interview questions from the information in the job posting. Now, the other way that you could spin that is, what are 10 possible technical interview questions that could be asked in an interview for the position below? And again, copy and paste the job posting or job description into the prompt and hit enter. And it generates 10 possible technical questions. Now again, some of these questions may not really make sense or they may not be written in the best way, so keep that in mind if you choose to use these questions as a part of your preparation process. Now, one of my most popular videos is a video on the 3 types of questions that you could ask at the end of an interview. So you can use ChatGPT to help you generate questions that you could possibly ask at the end of an interview. So I asked it 2 different questions. The first was, what are 3 role-specific questions I could ask at the end of my interview based on the job posting below? And ChatGPT generated 3 possible questions that I could ask at the end of an interview based off of the job posting that I entered into the prompt. I also asked it, what are 3 organizational culture questions I could ask at the end of my interview based on the job posting below? And again, ChatGPT generated 3 possible culture questions that I could ask based off of the job posting that I posted into the prompt. Again, some of these questions might be great, some of them might be cringeworthy. So make sure that you read through them and decide if they're questions that you want to ask and if it will get you information that will help you make the decision on if this is the right position for you. And then finally, the final prompt that I used for ChatGPT that you could possibly use as a part of your job search process is, could you write me a follow-up email thanking the manager for an enjoyable interview and mention my excitement to join a team working on an organization-wide project? ChatGPT generated an email template that you could potentially use to follow up with the hiring manager or recruiter after an interview. And it mentions very specifically the things that I asked it to do in the prompt. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Again, keep all of those considerations in mind when it comes to using these programs. These are just a starting place for how you could potentially use ChatGPT to help you in the different stages of the job search process. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or ideas on how someone else or how you might be able to use ChatGPT in this process, please throw them in the comments box below. I love receiving comments. I try to respond to each comment individually, so if you do leave me a comment, I will try to get back to you as quickly as I can. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so that you can continue to receive life-work balance advice delivered directly to you every Sunday. Thanks, and I'll see you next week.